Coca-Cola, one of the most iconic symbols of American enterprise, is no longer simply a soft drink company. It is now a harbinger of a dramatic shift in the global economic order. The company's decision to relocate its operational headquarters outside the United States, spurred by sweeping tariffs enacted under President Donald Trump, is a profound moment in the history of modern capitalism. This move is not a mere business adjustment. It is an indictment of a political ideology that prioritized short-term nationalism over long-term global integration. The trigger came in the form of aluminum tariffs, pronounced as 25%. These duties on imported aluminum dramatically increased the cost of one of Coca-Cola's most essential materials. Billions of cans, previously manufactured at predictable and affordable rates, suddenly became far more expensive to produce. Aluminum, which travels through international supply chains, now carries additional fees at each step, paired with a 10% retaliatory tariff from Canada, one of Coca-Cola's primary aluminum sources. This change instantly destabilized the company's cost structure. The company, which uses tens of billions of cans annually, saw its production economics thrown into disarray. Yet aluminum was only the beginning. Sweeteners sourced from Latin America and Southeast Asia, some derived from sugarcane, others from high-intensity artificial ingredients, also became significantly more expensive. These sweeteners are often transported across multiple countries before ending up in American manufacturing facilities. New tariffs along the way added unpredictability and bloated overhead costs. These weren't isolated incidents. The very foundation of Coca-Cola's efficiency, its mastery of a complex and finely tuned global supply chain, was being eroded from within. James Quincy, the British-born CEO of Coca-Cola, faced a stark decision: stay in the United States and accept diminished profits, strategic limitations, and growing tension with trading partners, or move the operational heart of the company to a nation more aligned with 21st century trade realities. For a company whose DNA is global, the decision eventually became unavoidable. In internal memos and quiet boardroom meetings, executives agreed that remaining anchored to a protectionist economy would compromise Coca-Cola's future. The company's exit from the United States marks not just a corporate relocation, but a cultural turning point. Coca-Cola, founded in Atlanta in the late 19th century, has for over 130 years represented more than fizzy beverages. It has embodied the American dream: efficient, innovative, endlessly replicable. It was a brand that walked with U.S. soldiers during World War II, advertised peace during the Cold War, and sold smiles during peacetime economic booms. To see it retreat from its homeland is to witness an American monument roll away on global wheels. This moment is not merely symbolic, it carries with it grave economic implications. Coca-Cola employs approximately 86,000 people in the United States, with another 300,000 supported indirectly through distribution, retail, and service providers. Removing its headquarters is not just a blow to its Atlanta birthplace, but a potentially fatal wound to regional economies that rely on its ecosystem. Real estate developers, bottling plant operators, tech suppliers, food scientists all stand to lose contracts, jobs, and futures. Some politicians have responded with outrage, accusing Coca-Cola of betraying American workers in pursuit of corporate greed. But this critique often fails to appreciate the complex calculus that global firms must now perform. Coca-Cola did not leave because it wanted to, it left because it was forced to choose between survival and stagnation. It is the consequence of a tariff strategy that aimed to punish rivals but ended up injuring domestic icons. The relocation will likely cost billions of dollars. Entire IT systems must be rebuilt to comply with new data protection laws. Sensitive information, from Coca-Cola's famously secret formula to its consumer behavior databases, must now be transferred securely across international networks. Legal teams must pore through thousands of supplier contracts, real estate agreements, licensing deals, and labor documents to ensure compliance under a new regulatory regime. Nothing about this transition is easy or temporary. It is a root and branch overhaul of a corporate identity. Where Coca-Cola will land is still under speculation. Germany, with its highly developed logistics networks and strong export orientation, is a likely candidate. Switzerland offers regulatory neutrality and financial discretion. The Netherlands, with its port access and multilingual workforce, stands as another strong contender. Each country offers advantages, but each also demands adaptation. Labor laws in Europe are stricter, environmental standards are more rigorous, cultural norms about marketing, wages, and packaging all differ sharply from the American baseline. That adaptation is already underway. Coca-Cola's senior leadership team is preparing for a radically different decision-making structure. Whereas strategies once flowed from Atlanta outwards, the future will see a polycentric model with key decisions emerging simultaneously from Amsterdam, Singapore, and Dubai. The company will need to develop stronger cross-cultural fluency. It will need to rebuild its internal communication systems to support multilingual teams operating across dozens of time zones. Traditional metrics like efficiency and productivity will now be joined by new requirements: adaptability, empathy, and global alignment. The philanthropic impacts will be just as severe. Coca-Cola has donated billions to American education, community development, and scientific research. Partnerships with institutions like Emory University, Georgia Tech, and hundreds of public schools may vanish or shrink. Funding may be rechanneled toward programs in the company's new host country, perhaps water sustainability in sub-Saharan Africa, refugee education in Germany, or waste recycling in Southeast Asia. These are worthy causes, but they are not American. They represent a shift in Coca-Cola's civic allegiance. There will be real changes on American store shelves too. Coca-Cola's products may soon be more expensive in the United States. Importing soda from new overseas manufacturing hubs will involve higher freight costs and customs duties. Prices will climb, especially in rural areas where distribution is less efficient. Smaller regional Coca-Cola offerings, products tailored for Midwestern palates or Latino communities, may be discontinued in favor of global uniformity. American consumers will see fewer choices, higher costs, and possibly a change in flavor as sourcing shifts. Competitors like PepsiCo are watching carefully. Pepsi has a chance to seize patriotic ground, aligning itself more closely with American interests. Yet Coca-Cola's move also strengthens its global profile. The geopolitical stakes are also high. The United States has lost not just a company but a soft power asset. Coca-Cola has been a walking billboard for American culture for over 100 years. Its products grace the shelves of both capitals and villages, often associated with American influence and optimism. That symbolic halo may now fade as Coca-Cola aligns with another nation. Back in Washington, lawmakers are scrambling. Meanwhile, Coca-Cola is preparing for life on new soil. Its Atlanta headquarters, long a beacon of American business, may become a museum, an echo of a legacy that once was. In its place rises a new Coca-Cola, borderless, agile, global, a company untethered from birthplace or nation, guided instead by market logic, stakeholder pressures, and the relentless demands of survival. It is a story not just about a company but about the transformation of capitalism itself. In the modern world, loyalty is not to flags but to function. Home is not a place but a position where profit, predictability, and potential align. And so Coca-Cola moves, not triumphantly but necessarily, not in betrayal but in self-preservation, and in doing so it leaves behind not only an economic void, but a cultural one. The red can will still sit in fridges across America, but it will now carry a different weight. A reminder that in today's economy, even the most American brands may one day have to leave home to stay alive.